Gotta give it a little juice. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. What's going on, everybody? It's been a while since I made a YouTube video, so I figured it was time for another nice outdoor DIY project. We have a toddler and a 7-month-old, so I thought it was time to upgrade to a proper swing set. So I'm going to be using a DIY bracket system. I'm going to be using 6 10-foot 4x4s and 2 12-foot 4x6s to complete this project. I'll have all of the brackets and all of the materials that I use during this project listed in the description and links for you so that you can acquire them yourself if you are looking to build this as well. So hopefully this will go pretty smoothly. I'm hoping that it's just a few hour project, but first I'm going to get all of these boards off of the trailer and I'm going to coat them with a solid black stain and sealer just for aesthetics. Not necessary, this is pressure treated, but I just want it to look a little bit nicer. So let's get to it. All right, so I got everything stained. That was definitely the right call. These look really, really good with the solid black. For all of the brackets, I'm just using these kind of standard A-frame. 4x6 goes in the big slot, 4x4s go in the small slot. There's a bunch of different brands. I think they're all the same. It's metal. So I have a mallet and a chisel handy, because if you've watched any other videos about making swing sets like these, you can see that sometimes the 4x6s might be a little swelled and it might be a pain in the ass to get on. So I'm just making sure that everything's oriented. I've already put one of these end brackets on the far end of the other 4x6. These are both 12 feet long. I'm going to be connecting them with a middle piece. And before I bang this on, let me show you the difference here. The only difference between the middle piece and the end piece is the end pieces, you see how the legs kind of flare out, and then on the middle piece they're 90. So just if you're doing a connector, just make sure you get them right. But I'm putting these end pieces on first. A little test fit to determine if I need to carve a little off with a chisel, or you could use a sander. This one's going on pretty good. I'm almost all the way there. So what I have is just a scrap piece of 2x4. You can really use anything. I've got my rubber mallet. I'm going to put this on the end here. And just start smacking away. A few smacks. And I'm nice and flush with that 4x6 on the end. And now it's ready for pilot holes and the bolts to go in. So I'm getting ready to install this middle bracket on one of the 4x6s here. And it looks like all my 4x6s are going to be good where I don't need to take a chisel to them and I can just kind of smack them on here. But for this particular bracket, 3 1/4 inches is going to be the middle. So I'm just going to pound this in and use my tape measure and just make sure I constantly check the depth so that I know that this 4x6 ends up halfway in here so that I have enough contact area. I don't know what the hell I call it. Enough of the beam in there for solid contact. And again, just doing a few smacks, checking it because it's going to sneak up on me quickly, especially since some wax send it a little bit more than others. I'm getting there. A few more. If you go too far, it's going to be a pain in the ass. It's better to go slow and sneak up on it. We are sweet right there. A little for good luck. All right. Whew, man. Some of you watching this, somebody's got to have a great idea on, like, well, this is how you should do the smack the two together. But again, future me problem. For all the brackets, we're using a 1/4 inch drill bit for pilot holes and a 1/2 inch socket on either your impact driver or with a socket wrench. Pretty straightforward, but the end caps have, what do I got? 6 on each, and the middle has 2 for each beam, so a total of 4. But all the hardware is included. Make sure you don't forget to put the washer first when you're driving in the bolt, and good to go on that. You don't have to make the pilot holes huge. These bolts themselves are only 2 inches long, and the pilot holes are just to help guide them in and reduce the chance of splitting. So make sure you do the pilot holes. Before taking on this project, I watched a few videos of similar type builds to make sure that it was a viable option. And there seemed to be a lot of people complaining about the hardware, like, oh, go buy your own hardware. You definitely don't have to do that, because this is working fine. So I bet those individuals just didn't drill pilot holes. And they're expecting these to be super high grade bolts. But these are come from overseas, so they're not super high quality steel. But they're working just fine when you follow the instructions. I'm just sucking these down fairly tight. I'm not like trying to bend or warp the metal like a ton. Just getting them nice and snug. And they're going to have certain points where they make better contact with the 4x6, because the 4x6 is not going to be perfectly square. If you got perfectly square ones, bonus. But I don't think I've ever gotten a perfectly square piece of lumber out of a big box store. But there we go. All these brackets are on. So now I'm going to flip these things over and get the spacing laid out for all of the swings. And the reason for taking on this swing set project is because this is what we're rocking right now. It's worked. It's worked well. Just this simple thing with a saucer swing. And we now have a 4-year-old and a 7-month-old. And it's time that they have a proper swing. Our 4-year-old knows how to like pump on her own now, so we're going to upgrade her. They just went to the museum actually, so I'm hoping to have this project done by the time they get back. So it'll be a nice surprise, and she can use a big girl swing as well as a saucer swing. We're just transferring this over. But definitely an upgrade. This is my favorite thing to do, is make things for my kids and my family, and things that we can do outside and enjoy together. All the brackets come with these little sticker guides here, and again, I'm just using a 1/4-inch drill bit for the pilot holes. I'm doing them 18 inches on center from each other. I looked all over the internet, and there's so much different information on spacing that it's not even funny. It's exhausting. They're all different. So for us, we are going 18 inches from the brackets, so either end. And then for our standard swings here, like just your regular belt swing, I'm putting the brackets 18 inches on center. Now before you go to put the bolts in, you're going to need to undo the actual bracket. Don't lose the bearings there. Just put those off to the side. That way you have enough clearance to put your bolts in. And for this specific brand of bracket here, I'm using a 17mm socket. And of course I have these brackets centered on the beam. Let's get one side started. These slots are a little bit like elongated, so you do have a little bit of wiggle room there, so you can get everything lined up just the way you want. Don't forget the washers. A couple of turns, and then start cranking it down. I have two different brands of brackets. They look almost identical, other than one has square corners and the other has round. One was on sale when I bought it, but it was like one of those little flash lightning deal things. So I could only get one set of 4 brackets, which is what I'm using right now. And then I bought another set, not knowing if they were going to be about the same, but they are pretty much the exact same. The finish is like a matte black, and they're good to go. Doesn't have to be perfect anyway. Ratchet this on down in here. This is such an upgrade from what we have been using for the saucer swing. Because the saucer swing in that video, that little clip that I showed, is just like on some trees, and then there were actually just some bolts like this screwed into the top of the 2x4. Actually, it's a true 2x4, but it is just only a 2x4, and it was hanging from that, and I would be swinging in that, and I'm about 190 pounds. And it's been up there for, shoot, almost 2 years, maybe a little more than 2 years now, so it's getting a little sketchy. Time for an upgrade. And these are heavy duty, so we'll be good. Adults and children will be able to enjoy this swing set, and that is the point, because we want to do things together. So those little cheap play sets that you spend way too much money on, those aren't really those really can't handle adults. There we go. I am finally on the last bracket here, and just to talk about spacing, I think I got a little bit lucky here with just what we're doing, but spacing might be a little bit different, so I just want to share kind of the layout, and that way you have a better idea for your specific context. But we've got 2 regular belt swings, and then a baby swing, like your typical Little Tykes baby swing. We have a saucer swing that I originally thought was 4 foot in diameter, but it's actually 5 feet in diameter. And then we have a single, like it's a handlebar that the kids can grab onto, and it spins. So it doesn't necessarily need 2 anchor points. It's just a singular one. So what I ended up doing is on one 12-foot beam, I put the 2 regular belt swings on the outside, and then the singular anchor point in the middle for that twisty swing, when originally I was going to put the 2 swings and the baby swing on one, but I think it would have been too tight. So this is a 12-foot 4x6. So I would say that if you want to put 3 swings, whether they're belt swings or baby swings or a combination of them, go with a 14-foot 4x6 to accommodate that. I wanted to go with the shortest beams possible, just so that they would be as sturdy as possible and not have any flex in them. And I just got lucky. This is going to work fine. I've got the saucer swing and the baby swing going on the other 12-foot beam. But in retrospect, I still think I would have liked to have the baby swing with the other swings. So I probably should have done a 14-footer and a 12-footer. But it's going to work fine. But I just wanted to share that in case you're looking to get 3 regular swings. Go with a 14-footer. That way you got plenty of room. I mean, I've read things that showed like 8 inches of space in between swings, and that just doesn't seem right. I would think you want the most space as possible. I did 18. I did 18 inches. I saw plenty that said 24 inches. You don't want swings colliding into each other, and if you have multiple children swinging at the same time, the likelihood of them just going forward and backward perfectly without doing all kinds of funky stuff is low. So if they're too close, they're going to crash into each other, and then you got a whole whole other thing to deal with. So nobody ever likes to be crammed. So however many swings you want to use, I would figure 18 to 24 inches of space in between them, and then figure out your beams from there. But this process has been super easy. This other brand of bracket, I actually needed like some pliers or wrenches to break free because they put a lock nut on them, which is great, but you can't install the bolts. You can't install it to the beam with those bolts in the bearings because they just get in the way. So you got to take them apart. All right, cool. Okay, so I have moved on to one of the parts that I thought was going to be a little bit trickier than it's actually turning out to be, and I just want to share how I'm accomplishing it. So I'm doing this all by myself. These 12-foot beams, they're not light, but they're manageable. But getting the two together in the middle, I knew was going to be tricky. So I started slamming it with the mallet in the 2x4, just like I put all of the other brackets on, and it was actually like it's working. I could just sit here and like tap by tap, I would be able to get it in. I marked 3/4 of an inch in on the board that I did not have. I don't know what the hell's wrong with this, but I marked 3/4 of an inch in on the beam that did not have the bracket attached to it already, and it's moving. So I still have it marked, and I thought, well, let me come up with a even more efficient solution. And I'm simply using 2 ratchet straps. I've attached it to this bracket that's already secured to this 4x6, and then I just have another ratchet strap meeting it in the middle. Good to go. Give it a couple of taps and keep ratcheting it in, and we're getting there. I only have got about an inch to get in there, and just adjusting them. I put them up on the sawhorses here because this is about where it's going to go. So once this is done, I'm probably gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna tilt it over to put the legs, or if I'm gonna bring it back down on the ground to put the legs, but we'll see. I'm definitely winging this part, and I'm just hoping that it goes smoother than I initially anticipated. So let's get it. So there it is. My line has disappeared. The ratchet straps, in combination with just tapping the end here with the mallet and the scrap 2x4, got everything together. So now while this is still taut, I've got to drill my pilot holes and send the bolts in, and we'll be good to go, and we'll be ready to get the legs on this thing, and then figure out how I'm going to get it up. Same as before, 1/4 inch pilot hole, half-inch socket. Impact driver makes quick work of it. Making sure these ones are nice and tight. Going back to the other side. Making sure those are snug. I don't really want any gap here. I want this middle to be super tight. In typical DIY fashion, this job has required a lot of tools and definitely requires some figuring out, but it's part of the process. It's just enjoying figuring it out. And it's nice knowing that I can enjoy this swing or these swings safely with my children. And the grandparents can go on these if they want and feel safe and not worry about hardware giving out or breaking or anything like that. But we're good. We can get these. Play a tune on that, baby. All right, next step. All right, so I'm such a noob when it comes to this. I'm very rusty making YouTube videos, and I just did like a whole thing that I thought was pretty good. I even had some humor and stuff in there, but I wasn't recording. This fancy gimbal that I'm using moves around, and I just assume that when it's moving and following me that it's recording, but it wasn't. So in case I didn't get anything of what I was just talking about, and I can't remember what I did get or what I didn't. This has been a game of leverage. So when I had this whole contraption this way, I put in the 3 4x4s that were touching the ground, and I used a maul, like an axe, but a splitting maul with the scrap 2x4 and banged them in, and it was way easier than using that little mallet. Obviously, there's more mass, just a few swings, and they were seated in there. Drill the pilot holes, send the bolts, good to go. But I've been using these 2x4s, these 8-foot 2x4s, and just wedging them in as I stand this thing up. And I'm going to try to use this same technique to get this thing stood all the way up. But the way that I want it, I need to roll it back onto its original side first and then stand it up. So I got to do this shit twice. And you'll get to see me either figure it out or fail miserably. So let's give it a go, because all these legs are in and it is ready, Freddy to rock and Rizzy, baby. All right. And I think I was mentioning before that the middle bracket is really pissing me off, because it's the same width as the end brackets when it should be double, so that you can get just the same amount of 4x6 in there. But you can't. So there's a little bit of flex, and like right now, see, this is going to be tough. I got to start lower and just kind of get these propped up, because this is heavy. This whole freaking unit here weighs, I don't know how much, but we're at 24 feet long with 10 foot long legs on this. But it's just leverage. It's a game of leverage. Slow and steady when you're by yourself. That's all you can do. Incremental adjustments. And you just work it up. Work it up one little movement at a time. You don't want to hurt yourself. You don't want to snap these boards. And you just start twerking it up. And I think I've got enough leverage here to get a 2x4 underneath. I do. Just like that. And when you do projects by yourself all the time, you realize the importance of leverage. And I typically use my tractor to achieve leverage on most things that I'm doing. I'm pretty sure I mentioned it already, but this area is on top of our septic field. B, get out of here. You're going to get crushed if this falls, dog. This is on top of like that. It's on top of our septic field, so the tractor's too heavy. Its weight distribution would damage our septic field, and we definitely don't want that happen. So you can see, even with this leverage technique that we got going, it would be super beneficial to have another person helping out. Just to keep things safe more than anything. I got animals walking around here. I don't really feel like getting cracked in the head with a 4x4 or a 2x4. But they are pretty secure in there with those bolts. It definitely doesn't help that I am not on even ground. There we go. Not graceful. Not graceful, but it's strong and it's good. Nothing broke. So we're good. Now I gotta get it up that way. All right. That's where all these gym sessions pay off. If you're a dad, you shouldn't be a weakling anyway. It's your responsibility as a parent to be fit. Sorry, I digress. All right. So this is heavy. I don't know if I can just strong man this up onto the sawhorse or not. Yeah, we can. We sure can, baby. I'll tell you what, this middle does not like this, though. Holy smokes. The middle hates this shit. This bracket. This bracket is about screaming for its life here. I really don't like the design of this bracket. And I have a feeling that when I get it up in the air, I might need to add a 2x4 block on either side and run it across to just kind of add support in there. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, fuck. Whew. Yeah, buddy. That shit is so heavy. My goodness. Whew. My goodness gracious. All right. Yeah, let's get this one up. Gonna have a lot of touch-up stain to do. Oh, it's gonna just like tip all the way over on me. Oh, come on. There we go. Sheesh. Shoo-weesh. This middle part too is super heavy. But we got it. Come on now. All right. So now we gotta get some leverage going up. And this is gonna be tricky. But I think once I get it going, I just gotta get it up. Gotta get it up enough. Incremental. That's it. Just gotta keep doing it. Incremental changes here. It's just so heavy. It is just so heavy. Having one other person right now would be good. Or having my tractor. If I just had my tractor, I'd put the forks under it and just go poof, and push it right up. I kind of think I have to. I don't think that there's any way that I'm going to get this up in the air by myself. I don't see that as a realistic thing that I'm going to accomplish. So instead of debating, that's what we're going to do, people. We're going to take a chance. I'm right on like the very edge here. Yeah, I don't think there's any other way I'm going to get this shit up. So that's what I'm doing. We're going to use the forks on the tractor. That's it. Give me this. It needs to be on there a little bit more. There we go. Same thing with this one. And I'm hoping I can just kind of push it up in the middle and have it go. Let me get this up here. Yeah, I'm kind of maxing out over on this side. I am kind of maxed out. There we go. I kind of just got to give it a little juice. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I'm fucked. I'm so fucked. I guess I should have kept using the tractor, huh? God damn it, I was so close. Fuck me. So what I'm doing now is strapping an extra 2x4 to the center to give me a little bit more rigidity here in the middle so that I can just send this. And it's up. Sometimes you just gotta screw the finesse in and send it. Yep. Oh shit. I think I'm getting all this shit on camera. Damn. That's why we got upper body strength. That's why it's important. You just saw why it's important. I fucked up this ladder earlier. I don't know. Is that what happened? No. I just didn't set it up right. Wasn't paying attention. I'm telling y'all, I am giving you a show. I got all the swings up, had myself a little snack and some water. Gonna need some extensions for the baby swing because we obviously don't want to be pushing our 7-month-old that high up. The belt swings are actually like pretty good for adults, but I do need to drop them down just a little bit for our toddler. And then that little spinny thing needs to come down too so she can reach it. But the saucer swing's good, it's got enough clearance. I just went on one of the belt swings and was giving it a good go. And I was getting a little bit of lift because the legs weren't maintaining their distance. So not necessary for little kids using it, but if adults are going to use it, the legs might shift a little bit. So I did already have some pressure treated deck boards, and I'm just going to cut 3 of them. I think I'm going to cut them at 60, probably 60 inches, and just drop them down enough where they can support the legs from moving out or in, and then be high enough so that little heads aren't smacking them. But that'll be it. Go get the chains, and that'll be a wrap. And definitely got a touch. I banged the hell out of this thing moving it. So I gotta put some touch-up stain on there, but not a big deal. Cool. So I think I ended up bringing these boards, I think 62 inches down from the top. There's no rhyme or reason to that. I just looked at it, and I thought that was pretty good. So that's what we went with. And now we're just getting these edges cleaned up. Not bad, not the best. My dad is a master carpenter, and he is phenomenal with a skill saw. I'm more of a track saw kind of guy. But that'll do, baby. Let's get this touch-up stain. Where'd your swing go? Oh.
You're kidding. Thank you. Did you make it?
I did make it. I'll race you to it.